right, so the man, the myth, the legend himself, disgraced ex-governor of New York, Mr. Andrew Cuomo, has thrust himself back into the news. And the reason I want to talk about this is because I find him to be a very awful figure, to say the least. And I came across a CNBC article that details about how he is trying to put himself back on the political scene. He's trying to re-enter the political scene and maybe challenge current governor of New York, Miss Kathy Hochul. So I'm going to read to you a little bit of this article, and then I want to break down just very simply, not go into great detail, about who he actually is. So the article goes as follows. Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is considering a run against his replacement and fellow Democrat Governor Kathy Hochul as a part of an attempt at a comeback after resigning in disgrace amid multiple accusations of sexual harassment by former aides, according to people familiar with the matter. Cuomo, who reluctantly left office last year, are denying the harassment allegations, has been fielding calls from supporters about a possible run against his former lieutenant governor. His aides have been conducting their own internal voter polling on a potential matchup. These people explain those people who declined to be named did so in order to speak freely about private matters. After a recent public poll from Emerson College and The Hill showed Cuomo was a few points behind Hochul, the former governor received calls from allies encouraging him to run against Hochul. A person close to Cuomo said that survey was published last week showed Cuomo just 4 points behind Hochul with likely New York Democratic primary voters. It's been one of the rare polls showing Cuomo that close to Hochul with primary voters. Hochul is up for re-election in 2022 and is in a primary fight with Representative Tom Sweezy, the Democrat of New York, as well as New York City Public Advocate Jumaine Williams. Now, this article goes on to state other things, also about how Cuomo and his team spent like upwards of $2 million on ads to kind of puff up his reputation after he's been utterly disgraced, and rightfully so. Cuomo is a guy, as this article outlined, that got ousted due to sexual harassment claims, and that's what brought an end to his reign. But that's not really why he should have been ousted. Now, my condolences to those accusers. I'm sure there's many truth to their stories and what have you, and it's terrible what they have been through. But I want to give you the side of the story that you're not going to hear, especially among liberal discourse and liberal media. Andrew Cuomo went through quite the scandal that really didn't get a lot of eyes until he basically got the Me Too and all the sexual harassment claims came out. Andrew Cuomo made the very preposterous decision to admit COVID positive patients into nursing homes. And so it was this transfer of COVID positive patients into nursing homes, and many times from hospitals into nursing homes. And you can guess what happened next. It created a situation of mass death. And so bodies were falling left and right. People were dying because he created a situation for that to occur. And after having doing so, not only did he cover it up, but he him and his team, the people that assisted him, vastly undercounted the death count of the people that he sent to their death. And it wasn't by like 5, 10, 15%. Now, any undercounting is completely unethical and immoral. It's obvious that he lacks both of those. But he undercounted it by like 40%, damn near half. And they were exposed for that. That's what he should have been taken out over. That's what he should have resigned over. I mean, and it's not just him, by the way. People, this isn't uniquely to him. Many states around the country adopted this same tactic, and I'm not finished just yet. Not only did he do what I just outlined, he also gave immunity to the nursing home and hospital executives that help him do this garbage. Well, you might say, well, Malik, why did he give them immunity? What reason would he have to give them this? Well, these same executives donated millions of dollars to his campaign collectively. Yes, they did. He's also insanely corrupt. I don't know if I failed to mention that. If I have, well, now you know. And I also read something else, that on his way out of the door, He screwed over third parties, such as like the Green Party, for example, and he made it harder for them to get on the ballot in New York. He is a figure that is anti everything that anybody that is in favor of democracy stands for. That's who Andrew Cuomo is. He might come out here and rail against the special interest or the big money. That's who he is. He is special interest. He is big money. He receives so much of it. He's insanely corrupt. That's who he is. And his brother is out here asking for like what, like $120 million for his unjust firing. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. The entire family is a joke. Andrew Cuomo is a clown. And look, it's no secret. We have an incredibly corrupted political system, and it seems like it can't get any worse than it already is. But I know one thing for sure, and I would say that it's safe to say that the last thing we need in our already insanely corrupted political system is for this man to make any kind of comeback.